Group time is a really important time at HOBY because it's the last thing that the ambassadors do before they go to bed. It happens every day. It usually lasts about an hour, and it's always a great time to debrief.
Group time is one of my favorite parts of the seminar because it's one of the few times that we actually get to sit down with the ambassadors and check in with their experiences about what's going on.
I like to ask them what they did, what their favorite part of the day was, what their least favorite part of the day was, what they're looking forward to tomorrow, if there were any surprises, how they're feeling about the seminar. It's also nice to check in kind of emotionally. They're away from home. Maybe they haven't been away from their parents this long. In that regard, group time really takes on, you take over the role of their family over the course of the seminar.
One of the things I'll mention about group time is although it happens for an hour each night, you should also consider all of your meal times with your ambassadors as group time. Every time that you're not specifically focused on a programming activity, I really think it's group time. And so that's something to keep in mind as you plan.
Group time is a really efficient or effective time to mentor the ambassadors throughout the process, to know how they're feeling about things, to help them anticipate what's coming up next, to help them process what's actually happening to them.
I think the most important thing about group time is to make sure that you have a pretty consistent set of activities. So whatever you do, make sure that you begin and end with the same type of activity each night. This helps build continuity and will really be a scaffold for the ambassadors. It will make them feel more secure in what's going on during the group time experience.
On the first night of group time are little introduction games, and maybe you've already done this at lunch or dinner, throughout the day, and you've been together for several hours on Thursday night by the time you get to group time, but I kind of like to go through and ask questions like, what did you all miss to come here? Or what's your favorite this or that? It's fun to play games.
Also during group time, you can discuss the HOBY ground rules, set your own set of group ground rules. You can talk about ambassador highs and lows of the day. Make sure that you include your own experiences and that of your associates as well. It makes you feel like more of a part of the group. You can play games, you can practice cheers, or do anything else that really helps build team unity as you go about the seminar.
It's good to set boundaries and to set rules and to say that, while this is a really safe space and that we want to create, an atmosphere of trust at group time, it's also important, I think, early on to say that, while you can express yourself honestly, please try not to intentionally offend anybody. Please try to keep it appropriate.
One of the things I love to do is use books. I normally use my iPad or any other type of e-reader because it's something that you can always have a story on no matter what you're doing. However, any standard book will work as well, so keep that in mind as you plan. If you need ideas for other activities, you can find them in the pamphlet attached to this newsletter.
It's fun to do things, that you can build up over the course of the seminar. Something on Thursday night, some game about what you're afraid of, and then some game on Saturday about what you are most excited about, or why you don't want to leave. Simple things. Group time does not have to be fancy. Keep it simple. I think it's really more about connecting with them at an emotional level and just being there for them, listening to them. Just be ready to listen to their thoughts and their feelings about what's happening. It won't be long. People like to give group gifts at the end of the seminar. I often don't do anything too fancy. I mean, the gifts that I think have been the most memorable to people are ones that just came from the heart. And as cliched as that might sound, I think it's the truth. I often wait until Sunday morning and write notes that are really personal because I've known them. I know them now. I've had the entire course of the seminar to get to know them. So just call on me, brother, when you need.
Many of you have already selected a group theme, but no matter where you are in the theming process, make sure you back it up with flair. If you need some more ideas for flair, or just want to spice up what you've already done, make sure you check out Rue and Angie's HOBY Pinterest board. It's a great way to get ideas for arts and crafts, and things you can do to really spice up the experience. Group flair helps you build group cohesiveness, and it's just a fun way to enjoy the HOBY experience. If you need other ideas, make sure you talk to your section leader.
For every single person who attends the HOBY seminar, ambassadors, staff, people who've been there 20 years, people who are there for the first time. It has the capacity to really change people's perspective about life. And that's not always easy for people, especially young people. A lot of these students are not necessarily aware that they need to even be open to the new ideas that we're presenting to them. So group time is just so crucial, I think, in recalibrating them and like facilitating them through the process of having a new mindset, having a new worldview.
It's been great chatting with all of you, HOBY, and I hope you have an outstanding week.